This is light work. Come on, spill the tea. Yeah. Ooh.
Hey y'all,
What's good?
I'm Laura.
I'm Dee, and welcome to Spill the Tea with Laura and Dee.
What's our topic?
I'm glad you asked. Our topic for today is the big shift, moving away from big cities.
Everybody's moving away.
Do you hear Mazzy groaning in the background?
I
It's
do.
So funny. So, what do we mean by this? So, Atlanta, I honestly have only ever lived there during college.
I've never actually lived in Atlanta. I live in Atlanta, but not really.
It was very exciting in college. Just imagine a 19, 20-year-old guy living downtown Atlanta.
Yeah, I have one of those. I don't have to imagine.
Of course, right? You got a couple of them.
I have one in Atlanta.
Right. And so it was nice then. And so now it's as I've kind of, I don't know, in the past, we used to call it, I've picked up some more baggage over the years. Now it's it makes more sense to have more space. And then it's
Right.
just now with having Julia, I'm just okay, well, I'm fine with things being a little slower too. And now it's okay, well, I was so excited about moving from Smyrna closer to Atlanta. It's my parents had it right. They were just outside of Atlanta.
Right.
If I wanted to go home and still commute to Atlanta, I did for 2 years. And it was fantastic. But it is not far.
No,
Right.
no,
and
there's
and
very,
as a
very close
local,
living.
you skip all the little traffic because you know all the little spots. Now over the years, the other people know all the spots too. And I'm y'all have messed this up.
Correct, and that's why everybody's moving away. So we have
Right.
the cities, right? And New York is probably a really good example of this because New York has
Mhm.
been this way forever. New York is miles and miles and miles and miles and miles wide,
Right.
Because New York actually spills over into different little towns and
Right.
what at one point were suburbs. And so we're finding that there's a lot of post-pandemic migrations kind of out to these smaller cities and these smaller towns.
Right.
Yep, and they're moving out that way because for a few reasons. One, jobs are now transit.
Mhm.
Employers have finally conceded to the fact that their employees can be productive working from home.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot more just remote jobs, so now people have flexibility. They don't have to live close to the city anymore.
Right.
The cost of living is usually cheaper in the suburbs, and schools are better. So even if you're not looking at your personal situation, hey, I have kids,
Mhm.
I still tell all my buyers, we need to understand what school system you're buying in because you have to
Right.
sell in that school system.
Right.
Right,
Honestly, I don't think I thought about that prior to having kids.
Most people don't.
It's
Why does it matter?
Right. It's
You
it
gotta
doesn't-
sell.
I bought it outside of a school zone. Somebody else is gonna buy it, right? And it's
Correct.
but
Correct.
you're always looking for a deal.
Correct. You have to understand that, right? And so these smaller towns, the quality of life is just much higher because it's
Mhm.
slower, cost of living is cheaper, and the cities and the towns are really catching on. I mean, you've got some massive developments
Right.
that have either just completed themselves within the last, say, 10 years,
Mhm.
and then you've got a lot of other massive developments that are just kind of getting started that are a little bit further out. I like to say that the suburbs of the suburbs are finally the suburbs
Right.
in Atlanta.
Honestly.
Alpharetta's not a suburb anymore.
Right.
And so you're starting to see the cities kind of catch up on that trend. And so Gwinnett County has a development that's 56 acres.
Mm-hmm.
Eat, sleep, play kind of development. I think there's coming in 300 homes.
Right.
That's a lot of homes. And what's cool is we need them.
Right.
Right? Atlanta needs the space. We've got people moving to Atlanta, right? And they need these places to live. And you're also seeing smaller towns even further out. Your Cartersville, your Rome's, your
Right.
Conyers.
You are, yeah.
Those areas are going through regentrification because you're starting to see more jobs come to those areas because,
Mhm.
again, cost of living is cheaper. So your big companies, your Amazons, your
Mhm.
warehouses, those type facilities that need these big spaces are starting to move in those directions. And so
Exactly.
you're going to see more and more of that downtown living in
Mhm.
smaller areas, right? In the
Right.
eat, sleep, play environment.
Right. And then to your point, I feel if you're local to Atlanta or a nearby area, to your point, you're going to be moving to the suburb of the suburbs. Because to us, that's what feels like the suburbs. Because,
Correct.
for instance,
Correct.
for example,
Yes.
Smyrna, like I was talking about, that used to be the suburbs
Not anymore.
15 years ago.
Yes.
Right? If not longer.
Longer,
And it's-
because Jordan's 19, and it was the suburbs when she was not born yet, because where I lived was Smyrna.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so.
it's not the last,
Right,
15 years
and so
ago.
it's that's decades, right? So
Yeah.
it's from a planning perspective that helps you,
Right.
right? But these areas that have really bubbled up, it's if I want to move to the suburbs now, it's Smyrna, this ain't the suburbs anymore.
Yeah.
It's they're building out their downtown area, and I'm
Correct.
just growing up in that downtown area was always the perfect size. Now they're talking about we need a parking deck, and I'm a parking deck to go to the damn library. How many of y'all
Yes.
going out there?
A lot.
And look, you drive by there now, and it's little spots of land where you're just But I never thought to put nothing there. It's like they're building all that up now. And it's like, now to get to the suburbs, it's like, okay, well, now you got to start looking at like Austell. You got to start
So
looking
I'm
at like
looking at
Marietta.
like Canton, right? I live in
Canton,
Alpharetta.
right.
And it feels like the city. You know, I used to when I was little, I would say I'd drive through Gwinnett County and be like, I'm never living someplace where it's normal to have 8-lane streets, surface streets.
Oh my
Like, who
gosh.
needs 8 lanes in the surface street? I'm like,
Oh my
I'm leaving
gosh,
Alpharetta. It's here.
Alpharetta.
Like, it's here. Old Milton Parkway.
It's scary sometimes.
Yeah, it's
I'm just like, wait, this is worse than the interstate.
it's terrible. So getting into those smaller towns, you definitely have a lot more opportunity, a lot more chance to slow down, I think.
Exactly.
And I think we need that, right? I think that the common person is looking for that, and I think their search in real estate is reflecting that. I talked to a buyer today who he's ready to give up he lives right by the airport, and he's ready to give that up, and he still wants to stay kind of in Atlanta, but he's moving a little further from the heart of Atlanta and getting a little closer to the edge where we can go. He can afford a ranch, a cute little ranch that we'll be looking at this weekend, and that's what he's talking about. I'm older. I'm ready for my family to come over and be able to hang out. And we can set up in the backyard, and we can have barbecues, and we can do this, and we can do all these things that we just can't do in my townhouse.
Right.
So keep an eye. Lots of new developments, lots of things coming, lots of chances for real estate.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely right. Because I mean, if you look at some of these developments, there's always something right nearby that you can just pick up and kind of get some of that value.
But if you look at a lot of these rundown cities that need regentrification, or like if you go to Gwinnett County and look where they're putting this 58-acre development, there's buildings that are run down. It's not just residential opportunities right now. There's a decent amount of commercial opportunities as well. We've seen the price per square foot go down some over the last couple months in just rental office space. We're seeing
It's dirt cheap.
It's getting there, right? Really, that's all you want, okay?
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Sign the LOI, right?
You're seeing people like convert now. And,
Correct.
And I was seeing that trend
Correct.
come up like 2 years ago because the government started doing grants for it.
Got it,
For
okay.
research, not even for actually doing it yet. They just wanted people that had done it before. And they were like, we'll give you basically money for the research. And I was like, will you give me money to find the research and do it and test it out for you? I'll do that.
Can I have that grant that doesn't
Right.
exist? Can I make it? Yes. But so look at buildings. I mean, if real estate is the way you're going, look at buildings and think about, okay, maybe you buy this building and let it sit for a little while. Maybe you buy it and rent it out for a little while. But you're going to start seeing the appreciation go up because these small towns that were once dead are going to be waking back up.
They're going to come back alive.
They're going to come back alive. People are
because
moving.
people are going to move into them.
People are moving
We've
to those
got
areas.
so many people flooding like these areas we used to call the suburbs. It's like, well, we can't even stay in the suburbs. Ain't the suburbs no more.
No,
We gotta
they're
go to the
spilling over,
suburbs
yes.
of the suburbs.
That's the suburbs.
Right.
Yes.
So
Yes.
so yeah, they're, to your point, they're just gonna start filling up, and it's like, oh hey, you don't want that spot anymore? Yeah, I'll take it.
Right.
No,
Right.
don't pay attention to the rest of the folks coming out here. No, they ain't gonna come back.
Well, I mean, I just think about the places in downtown Alpharetta. Now that downtown Alpharetta is what it is, at one point it was just Main Street. Now it's Main Street with a full city square.
Right.
It actually covers, I mean, probably, it's not perfect city blocks. It's a little choppy, but if you made it to be city blocks, probably 4 to 6
Right.
full city blocks worth of restaurants and shopping and entertainment. There's
Right.
green spaces. There's a
Right.
water fountain for the kids to play in.
Right.
I took Mazakine to see if she would play in it because she loves the hose. She's a big chicken. So Mazakine doesn't like it, but everybody else does. I know.
Not you.
I know, it's so silly. That's what the residents are going to demand.
Right.
So if you're looking to capitalize on real estate right now, look in these cities that are underdeveloped. Look in these cities that are right outside of big growing cities like Dallas, like Nashville. Nashville's starting to kind of dwindle a little bit just because of their Airbnb industry. But I think it'll catch back up. I think it just went too fast.
Right.
So again, I don't think it's really going backwards. I just think it's in a correction mode. I think there's just too many investors that don't need to be there right now.
Like a lot of other places.
Well, sure. Yeah, Decatur's disgusting. But you've got, Atlanta's still a big growing city. And so you've got a lot of these southeastern cities where temperature's good, right? Weather still feels good.
Right.
The cost of living is still very inexpensive. It's like the southeast was under a shield for a long time, and now y'all lifted it. Awful. All these people are, increasing the cost of living everywhere. But
Right.
that's what's going on. And if you're looking to invest and looking to kind of grow your revenue and your dollars in that sector,
Right.
residential and commercial are big deals. And a lot of these big live, eat, sleep, play places, while they're being developed, are being sold. I was in the middle of a deal the other day that for the place right here.
Set it up, make some money while setting it up, sell it off to somebody else.
That wants to actually
Let them
run
take
the
over
development.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much opportunity in these little developments right now that if you're
Right.
creative,
Figure
you'll
out.
figure something out in
Oh,
real estate.
absolutely. Yeah. You know what time it is?
What time is
It's
it?
time for question quickies. Where are people moving when they leave Atlanta and why? And I guess to kind of expand on that, when I say Atlanta, I should say like the metro Atlanta area. What
ITP.
used to be, well, not just ITP, what used to be the suburbs.
Oh, like
that
the
is
topic
now
today.
kind of right. So that greater metro Atlanta area. I don't know if you go on to LinkedIn and it's like, where are you from? The greater Atlanta
Right.
area. It's like,
That's
I'll take
Atlanta
that.
plus the suburbs.
Right. So
Which is just
for,
Atlanta now.
for folks kind of, us locals leaving those areas, where are we going?
So that's a really great question. And I
why?
talk.
We talked about that too.
Well, I talk a lot about this with my buyers moving into the area because a lot of times people look up on the internet and the great Google machine says that you should move to Alpharetta. Right?
Oh,
I mean,
is that?
Alpharetta is the place to move, has been the place to move since 1980. That's why I live in Alpharetta. My mom didn't have the great Google machine in 1980, but she had something that allowed her to find Alpharetta, right? Buford.
Right.
I love Buford Sugar Hill.
That's a wonderful area.
Oh, it's schools are fantastic. Price of living is still reasonable. It's still got a lot of new construction going on. It's just not totally developed.
Right.
But it's not so underdeveloped that there's nothing. Right. So there's restaurants and shopping and
right
entertainment and all of that.
Right behind them is like Hall County.
You're right by the lake as well. Yes.
Right.
So you're in Hall County. Shoot right up to Gainesville. There's a few places in Buford you can get to the lake.
Right.
But you're right there, and so in that little bubble. You're right at the lake.
Right.
You're 40 minutes from the mountains. You're 4 hours, 5 hours from the beach. I mean,
right.
it's
nice. It's very nicely placed. There are a
location.
lot of people that just love that area,
Yep.
and I'm one of them.
Yep. So that's the northeast-ish tip of Gwinnett County, if you will. Fulton County's done. Like the suburbs are spilling over. Like there are no suburbs. We're done.
No more.
Coming south, Forsyth is actually. I mean,
that's a big development spot too.
They're pretty done as well. So going from there, you've got a lot of people moving to the Dawsonville area. You've got the outlets up that way. You're getting Dawsonville. Big Canoe has been really big for years.
That's close to like a lot of those big manufacturers of like building material, flooring material, that kind of stuff. So that's got a lot of jobs over there too.
So they do, and they're pretty developed. I mean, right now you've kind of got like the base of the mountains, which is your Dawsonville, the city of Atlanta.
That's what I was thinking of.
I don't know what that is.
They do flooring and stuff.
Oh, it's a company. They're kind of growing together, right? So Cumming and Alpharetta are kind of meeting in the middle, if you will. But Dawsonville is really nice, especially if you're looking for kind of a quieter mountain town, right? That kind of knocks on the door of the mountains, and so that's a really nice area. You've got a lot of people moving that way. Cartersville, Rome is getting a good shift. The shift in Rome is
talking about
jobs. It's opportunity.
Right.
There's the cost of living is so inexpensive.
Oh my gosh!
And the job opportunities down there are really becoming plentiful with all of the bigger companies that are coming in. You've got the Amazon warehouse type companies that are coming in right now. So you've got that, and then we're seeing a pretty decent amount of growth to Dallas. Now I think
Dallas, Georgia.
Yes, and I think the driver behind that is.
I love Dallas.
I do too. I think Dallas is really nice. It's kind of rural. It's probably your
Paulding I actually like in general.
Fair enough. It's a pretty rural county. It feels a little country, feels a little bit southern and laid back, if you will. If you're looking for a big city feel, the other three places I named, you'd be fine in. Dallas is not where I would tell you to go.
Right.
But I feel like that's going to change because I feel like you're going to get a lot more city slickers kind of moving out that way because the stadium went from downtown, the baseball stadium, to right there in Cobb County. And so now, it's not. What I'm starting to get when I hear people moving to Dallas, 100% of them are working either at the stadium or at a company at the stadium. So it's a 40-minute drive to the stadium from Dallas. And so it's pulling in. Dallas is just woke up over the last couple of years. I mean, I've got one lady who's potentially moving out of Dallas. Actually, I have two people that are moving out of Dallas that I'm talking to right now. And everything that we're looking at as far as comps, because neither one of them are in the neighborhood, it's all brand new construction. I'm like, holy schmoly, Dallas is not so quiet anymore.
Right, no, it's not.
Yeah.
It's
so
not.
That's kind of your
And my family has been over there for years.
Yeah. It's a great
area.
It's
like over the past 2 decades. I'm like, you live where?
When I was first in real estate.
How did you hear about Dallas?
You could buy a house in Dallas for under $100,000 when I first started real estate. And it was livable. And that was just 10 years ago.
When my family first started moving over there, we saw a house. All of us were looking at each other like, can we collectively just put in an offer? It was like $10,000. There was another one, $15,000. They were large houses. And now you go over there, it's like, wait, how much is that worth now?
200.
What should we have done?
Yeah. And it's hard to find something
for
$250 in the Dallas area.
Right. It's wild.
It's getting up there.
It's wild. I don't know. Those are those kind of things, man.
Hindsight.
Last question we have here. So these areas that we're talking about, can they keep up with the demand, basically?
That's a great question. As of right now, we are in a very unilateral market. It was starting to really move. I mean, those areas were performing no differently than your major cities when the boom was going on in 2020 through 2023.
Right.
I don't know if I have a perfect answer for that one.
Fair.
My gut says I think they can. I think the developers have enough foreshadowing and we're deep enough into this merge. I think 10 years ago, probably no.
Right.
But I think that people are aware and people are ready to make money. right? And you've got a lot of developers, a lot of people. I'm starting to talk to a lot of general contractors who we didn't see a lot of the custom builds. Like that was not the trend for a long time, right? A custom build, it's not for the weak of heart, and it's not
different now.
Correct. And so in areas like that, you would see mainly custom builds because people would buy a piece of property and put up their dream house, right? Like that was a very rural.
Lexi's parents actually just did that.
Correct.
And the area, to your point, has all the leading indicators of everything. I was driving by there. There's like a downtown area for lease, available, for sale. I wrapped all the way around one just big unit. And some of the places still had leases and tenants. And I'm like, how many people are moving here?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And so I think they will, because I think that, again, the developers have seen the migration over the last 10 years. I mean, real estate doesn't, when you as a common person feel the shift that's happening, we've been in that shift usually for months, if not years at that point, right? And so the developers are starting to really see that. They're buying up tracts of land, and you're starting to see a bigger migration towards custom built homes. Buyers finally realize that when a builder puts up on their sign, big custom home, it's not. It's a spec home that you get to pick the colors on or pick from 4 different types of granite. Okay, it's not a custom home. And so you're starting to see that desire come out more, and you're starting to see the market increase its number of custom home developers. I mean, I have a few GCs who are like, for you, yeah, we'll still do your projects, but stop sending me these little projects from your clients. And so, and it's because they're going towards the custom,
it's more profitable for them. They
It
gotta
is.
adjust.
It is.
Yeah.
And so my prediction is yes, I think that supply and demand will be kept up with. I think that once the interest rates drop, I think we're going to see this extra supply get eaten up. And then I think in about 18 months, we'll probably be in a fairly steady 2 to 4 month worth of inventory market, and everybody will kind of have calmed down, and real estate won't be so exciting. I think that's where we're headed back to. We're just kind of in the midst of it. Yeah.
Especially as
an investor, me too.
Right.
Love boring.
Absolutely. Well, I think that about wraps us up for today's video. Thanks for joining us today with Spill the Tea with Laura and Dee. As always, if you thought this was helpful and or entertaining, hit the heart or send to a friend. If you have a question for a realtor or a real estate flipper, drop a note below and we'll cover it in an upcoming video.
See ya.
Peace.
This is light work. Come on.